Hi guys, Yesenia Kalura here, Independent Beauty Guide with Limelight by Alcone. Now, if your foundation application method is using one of our amazing blender folds, then this video is just for you. As you can see, after time, the bottom of your blender fold will create the bottom of your tin to becoming exposed. Unfortunately, so many people think that this means they are almost out of their foundation, but that is far from the case here. As you already know, by this point, our foundations are highly pigmented, and only a true small amount is needed to obtain a full coverage look. Although I really do enjoy sometimes scraping the sides of my tin and allowing the wax to melt in between my fingers for a finger type application, I ultimately enjoy just applying our foundation with my blenderful. I truly am obsessed with our blenderful. There is no blender I've ever used like it. So the first step is removing the tin pans from your case. I am using a mechanical pencil in today's video, but I honestly use whatever is nearest to me. This has included using a nail that I found lying around from an old picture frame, all the way to a small Phillips head screwdriver. The tins just pop out. It's super easy. Just make sure you have your hand underneath ready to catch as you pop them out so you don't have them crash on your floor. It's honestly super easy. Once you remove your tins, you're going to go and get your frying pan. I use the smallest one I have, but honestly, any size will do. Go ahead and put your burner on a medium heat or higher setting if you really are in a hurry. Our foundations are wax-based, so don't worry. You are not ruining them by melting them down more just to fill your pan. The whole process takes minutes, if that, so make sure you don't walk away from this process. I normally take this opportunity to wipe down my countertops while I wait. Again, the higher the setting, the faster the process, but I personally like keeping it on medium heat to actually watch the process. I really think it's kind of fascinating. As you will notice, my smaller tin really didn't need to be done, but for the purpose of this video, I am adding it as well, just so you guys can see how even our small concealer tins can also be used with this same process. Now, the removal of the tins is going to be the hardest part of this whole process. I have acrylic nails, so normally I have no issue grabbing it by hand, but for safety purposes of this video, I am going to use my tongs today. I have had a tin almost tip on me before, I can't lie. The removal process is very important to make sure that you have a steady hand and a firm grip. It is truly important. Sometimes I even use a spatula with my tongs just to lift it onto the spatula carefully if I feel like I'm having a shaky hand kind of a day. I then set it directly on my countertop to cool. Depending on your type of countertop, you might rest it on top of something else. It really depends on what you have to use nearby. Now, notice the second pan looks covered, but there is still this big ring that shows that there is still an excess amount of foundation on the sides of my tin. I'm going to give it a few more seconds, just to make sure that I have it all settled in the middle. Again, the purpose of this is to make sure that you only have to do this every once in a while, instead of having to do it constantly. So as long as I let all the foundation set in the middle, I know I'm not going to have to do this again for a long time. And voila, you are all done. These pans look good as new. I went ahead and dug my nail in the middle just to show you guys how deep the bottom of this tin really is. The pan will last me much longer before I need to replace it, that's for sure. I hope you guys were able to enjoy this video, and if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to ask me directly.